Elston store, located on the corner of Belmont, California and Elston. It is the flagship store, and if that's the case, then this would be the Titanic. And it's fitting that yesterday we had a pipe burst up here in the ceiling, and that light was off, and then we lost the ceiling panel the other day, and it was leaking all day and filling up buckets. We finally got it under control. Here's a little bit of the refuge, a little bit of the debris still left over from that incident, where you got all kinds of plaster and all these fine articles of clothing that we're selling for $3 a piece. And then to top it all off, that was a fly just biting me because the flies have turned rabid here in the last few weeks. Top it all off, not too long, a couple minutes ago, the whole place smelled like gasoline. Like not a gas valve, like maybe I was thinking they were tinkering up there and they had maybe done something with the wrong pipe and they were leaking gas into the shop, but it smelled like gasoline, like somebody had spilled gasoline. But I was thinking maybe somebody was sneaking around the back trying to burn this place down and collect the insurance money, of which I'm sure there's none. And I think the only thing that's going to save this shop at this point is like poking through one of these pockets here of like somebody's used clothes and find a gold doubloon or some kind of Roman coin or something that's worth thousands of dollars. The whole place smelled like gas, and I was like, okay, we should probably get a couple customers to smell that. And we went outside and like, okay, well, it doesn't smell out there, it smells in here. And like, well, we should probably get out of here before it blows up. And the one guy's, well, can I get my DVDs first? And like, yes, sure. So I sold him DVDs. And oh yeah, and the thermostat's broken. So it's like 87, 88 degrees in here on top of it all. So that's pretty much where we're at with the suburban grift. The urban shift. The sift. What's kind of funny about that is now you have to watch, you have to be looking up to make sure that a ceiling panel doesn't fall on your head, and you also have to be looking down, because the other day we had a guy fall down a hole in the back of here, if you follow me. Now we used to have this area stacked up with boxes. We had a little maze of boxes, kind of weaving, turning, kind of winding road that led back here, and this little space back here. Now this is propped open because my boss,
this makes like this.
Said to air it out. You gotta air it out. Leave it open, air it out. I'm like, that's a major hazard. That's a bad thing. Somebody could fall and hurt them. Then
no, just leave it open. You gotta air it out.
Now there's no real place to air it out into, of course, because back here, if we take this off, we can see that it's a bunch of dumpsters filled up with a lot of food and whatever else from the grocery store right next door. So you see all these dumpsters, lots of rotting meat, lots of flies. So there's no real cross breeze you can have. There's no real place to air it out. So what happened was the guy, I had been talking to him for a little bit, and we were shooting the shit, and he kind of like cut my jib. We had a nice rapport going, and he asked if we had a little bit of a changing room. Now normally I leave people back here and I say, yeah, sure, this is the area right by the door over there. There's some mirrors. There's a little changing area right there. Most of the time I warn people with a huge gaping hole. While I was busy and it was late, and so he came back here about 10 minutes later. I came back to close up, and he's there, and he's with his shirt off. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, man. And he's like, no, it's okay. I'm like, everything all right? He says, oh yeah, I just fell down the hole. I'm like, holy shit. And so, can I get you anything? And he's like, yeah, some water would be nice. So I run and get him a glass of water. He gets down in the fetal position. He's kind of shaking, and there's that thing going on. So I'm like, oh, I'm just beside myself. And about 10 minutes later, something, he comes out, he staggers out, he's got road rash and hamburger, he's all marred up, and he walks over to the register, he's dragging his leg, and he's up there, and he goes shaking to pull like $2 out of his wallet to pay for 2 t-shirts. I'm like, no, you can have those shirts, you can have any shirts in the shop, I'm about to hand over the keys to you. And he's just like, okay, thanks, man. I'm like, you want some Neosporin? Maybe I got some. And he's like, yeah, that'd be nice. I look under the counter, I get a little sample thing of like hand cream for dry hands, and that's it. That's all I gave him. So we called that guy John McCain, because the funny thing is, as you see the post down there, he whacked his leg. He was dragging his leg, obviously, so he whacked his leg down there at the bottom. If he'd fallen the other way, he would have whacked his head. He could have been unconscious. I was just about to lock up, so he would have been stuck down there all night, and that's why we call him John McCain. And that is the story of the magnificent bastard stepchild of the urban thrift empire, which is the Elston store, and the one that I spend entirely too much time at. Okay, so this guy comes in the other day. It's a big sale. It's a credit card, though. And so at this point, it's so far in debt that all that just goes to pay off the principal, the interest, anytime I ring up a credit card. So we had this gypsy guy. There's a whole family of gypsies come in here the other day. And so the guy's like, he comes in, he's like, hey, man, how's it going? How's it going? I got a problem. I got an emergency. I was like, well, what's going on? And he's like, I need $23, man. My car got booted. I got to get the boy. I got to tow my car. It's an emergency, man. I need $23. I'm like, no, I'm not giving you $23. Come on, man. Come on. I own the restaurant next door. Come on, I'll get you a burrito. What do you want, chicken or beef? What do you want? What kind of burrito you want? Come on, man. It's an emergency. I just need 23 bucks. And I was like, no. I just kept that in like the 7th time. I was like, yeah, okay. But he's good. The gypsies, they mesmerize you. He had a whole billfold of money out, that, you know, to show him that he didn't really need the money, but he needed the money. You know, like he had money, but he needed more money or something. And he's like, you know, and he broke me down. And so I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds good, Bob. And I was just like, you know, I gave him 23 bucks, and this guy comes in right afterwards, and he says, I was like, here, I'll reenact it. Here is $23 out of the till, of which I pay myself, and therefore it's coming out of my wage. And so I gave it to the guy, and he goes to walk out, and this other guy comes in, and he says, who's a regular who I'd seen before, and he's like, hey, do you know that guy? I'm like, no, I don't know that guy. And he's like, that guy just asked for money from you? I was like, yeah, he just got 23 bucks off me. He's like, that guy's full of shit. I'm like, let's get him. So we chased him down the street, and we got back our $23. I think it was just me. I would have had a harder time, but there's two of us, so we could have, like, gang raped him or something like that. And he was like, come on, man, no. And first he gave me the 3, and then I was able to get the other 20 off him, and that was the end of that. And he's part of this whole wagon caravan train or something of gypsies that come through here. And one guy's huge, great big, huge fucker. And he came in here and he wanted it. First thing he says, I'll give you $1 for the fan. Everything's boss. Come on, man. Come on, boss. Huh? Boss, chief. Come on, man, dude, slick. They all use that kind of shit. So he asked for $1 for the fan. I'm like, first of all, the fan's not for sale, and second of all, it's more than $1. And he's like, all right, I'll give you $2. I was like, yeah, no, it's not gonna. All right, $3 for the fan. I'm like, no, it's not for sale, and it's not $3. So no. And then he started going through just like a human wrecking ball, tearing up the racks, just throwing things all over the place. He's like, you ain't got size 58 pants. You ain't got size 58 pants. And I was thinking, well, they shouldn't make size 58 pants. That man should be forced to lose weight. And then they've come in several times after that, and I don't bite my tongue anymore. I just very crass with them, and they were like, you know, what's this movie about? What's this one? You know, it's like, well, you see how there's like a razor blade and somebody's eyeball on it? It's probably a horror film. But they asked me to read, you know, the back of the movies for them, and all this. There's 2 of them. Like, they're some kind of common law marriage, maybe, or some kind of gypsy ritual marriage. And they want to, you know, it's like, but you can't read? Nah, man, come on. So that's the story of the gypsies. They come through here and they like to harass and take money off of people like me. Hard-working man in urban thrift. So the follow-up to the story of the guy who fell down the hole back there is about a month after the fact, after the incident. I got this letter in the mail, very legally worded and very formal, and obviously he consulted a lawyer. And he basically said he wanted $400 for CAT scans and MRIs and you know, his visit to the emergency room that I guess he went to after a couple days of pain and suffering, and also $200 for lost work, for 2 days lost work. Not that much, didn't really ask for that much. I showed it to my boss,
Ryan Brothers.
and he, I can't show this to anybody now, but I showed this to Brian Brothers, and he went through the 5 stages of acceptance all in real time, all in about 5 minutes. And basically, I was going to go contact the guy and do all the legwork and make sure that the guy at least got some of what he was owed. And Brian says, well, maybe I should keep that to copy it, you know, so I can make a photocopy. Basically, I reminded him once or twice after the fact, and he's like, oh yeah, whatever happened with that guy? I'm like, well, you got his information, his number, all that stuff. And so basically, I gave up on continuing to try to, you know, harangue him into reminding him that this guy is waiting there for his money, or he doesn't want to, but he's threatening maybe to pursue legal action. And basically he's filed it in the file of forget about it until it blows up in his fucking face. So look forward to that.